So what the heck is an escrow deposit? You're gonna learn today. An escrow deposit or an earnest money deposit are funds that a buyer gives to a seller to hold in good faith that the buyer will close on a property. And the purpose of an earnest deposit is to show that the buyer is serious and to hold them to the contract or risk losing the money that they gave up front. Because of course, if you give a $1,000 deposit, you're not going to want to lose that $1,000. Now, a buyer does not need to provide an escrow deposit, but it's strongly recommended, and most do. The amount of escrow is normally based on the price of the home. It can range from a few $100s to tens of thousands of dollars. There is no required or set amount for escrow, but it's normally 1% of the purchase price. Normally, a buyer would deliver the escrow deposit on the day that the contract is signed by both parties, or sometimes a few days later. Now, the escrow deposit is normally held by the seller's broker or their attorney. Whoever's holding the escrow deposit becomes the escrow agent, and they have to follow strict guidelines with that money. Basically, the escrow agent cannot release those funds unless both parties agree in writing or by court order. So don't be frightened by that. There are a lot of contingencies that would entitle the buyer to get their escrow back. These contingencies are listed in the sales contract or the agreement of sale. There are 3 typical contingencies that the buyer would be entitled to the escrow back. That is financing, the home inspection, or title issues. So a financing contingency is if you're unable to get your mortgage, but you've tried and done everything that you're supposed to do to obtain the mortgage, but you're not able to get qualified. So if you're going through the home buying process and you found the house that you like and you've already gave them your escrow, and then you find out you have a judgment or a ding on your credit or you lose your job and you're not able to get the mortgage, you would still be entitled to get your escrow deposit back. Another issue in this category is if the appraisal comes in short or too low versus what the sales price is. The bank is not going to fund that deal and you would be entitled to get your escrow deposit back. So of course you could always renegotiate the price down and kind of resolve that problem, but if you're unable to do that, you would be entitled to escrow deposit back in most situations. The second contingency is for the home inspection. If for whatever reason the buyer and the seller cannot come to an agreement on repairs that need to be done or issues that come up in the home inspection, the buyer is entitled to get their escrow back. Now, there is a set timeline for the home inspection. So in our area, it's 10 days. So if you go past 10 days and don't notify them that you don't want to move forward, then you would not be entitled to your escrow back. But if you do it within the timeline, you would be. And lastly, are title issues. So if during the title search, there's a cloud on the title and the seller is unable to resolve it or sell the home, of course you would be entitled to your escrow deposit back. Remember, these are general guidelines and every state can be different, but these are common situations that happen across the country. And also, this is really important. Notice that I'm saying the buyer is entitled to their escrow back. Remember, the escrow agent can only release funds one of 2 ways. The buyer and seller both agree in writing to release the funds or by court order. So if a buyer and a seller have a disagreement about what should happen with the escrow money, the escrow agent cannot release that money without court order. And that could be a mess, and the escrow money can get tied up for a very long time because, of course, the courts can take a long time. And that's why when you're offering on a property, you want to make sure that this is the home for you and you really want to move forward. Because otherwise, you could get some of your money caught up in escrow and it could be a big mess. And I can't stress enough that this is general information and that rules and laws can vary from state to state. So make sure you check your state law. And that's all I have for escrow deposits. Hopefully this information helps you understand it better. I know when I have buyers, they just kind of go along with it, but they don't really understand what we're dealing with. So hopefully this video helps a lot of people when they're thinking about buying a home and they get asked for the escrow deposit. They'll know how it works. And that's the whole point of me doing these videos. If you do have a question, definitely put it in the comments section or contact me directly. I pride myself in my accessibility, so I try to respond as fast as possible. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.